This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends, what's going down? Today is Tuesday. It is May 3rd. This is Kaplan and Crew, and we come to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. I mentioned that on June 2nd, we're having our first ever supper club at 7 Mile Casino. So mark your calendars now. More information as the week goes on. Today, we're designing the menu. Yesterday, we were, making all the dates and the number of guests and so on. And today, we're designing the menu. And by the end of the week, we'll probably have quite a bit of information. But this is a big week around here, fellas. You got Friday, our first ever lunch bunch at Tavern at the Belly Up in Solana Beach, completely sold out, 20 people all hanging out, having lunch. And then on Saturday morning between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., we're going to be at the Ride One Up e-bike demo day. Because I've had a lot of people, guys, even Browner, the other night when we were at your comedy show, people were coming up to me after the show and they're like, yo, I'm really interested in one of those Ride One Up e-bikes. Thing is, I don't want to buy it before I test ride it. And I'm like, I completely understand. So this Saturday,
what, you don't believe us?
They probably believe us, and they're probably really interested in wanting an e-bike. But who wants to buy an e-bike for $1,500 or $1,700, have it shipped to you, put it all together, and then go, I don't know if I love it.
That's what's so great about their store actually opening up in Balboa Park, in my opinion. The fact that you can feel it, feel the quality, look at the quality. It's not a ridiculously 100-pound thing that you can't carry anywhere.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever told you that my neighbor here, this thin, small, petite woman who has a just gigantic e-bike, who every time I hear her stumbling across up these stairs that I have, and then she's like, you need my help? She's like, please. And I'm like, girl, I'm going to hook you up, man, because I think that's so awesome about the store. It's just putting your hands on one. It's going to be good for everybody.
This Saturday, and Alex, maybe put it up on the screen. We'll just give everybody a heads up right now. This Saturday, rideoneup.co/greatfriends. That's the landing page to buy these bikes. But this Saturday between 10 a.m. and 1 p.m., I know it's only Tuesday, but mark your calendar now, at 415 Laurel Street in downtown San Diego, right in Balboa Park, we're doing a test ride demo day. So for anybody that's thought about an e-bike but hasn't ridden one, and you don't want to make that commitment until you actually get on one and ride one, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. this Saturday, me, Browner, Grande, Daniel Urbino, the CEO, there's a 3-hour window where you can come in and test ride any of these bikes. And right now, they've got this sale going on. Browner, you love that limited that you're riding, correct?
1,000%.
Well, now they're selling them in pairs. So you buy 2 limiteds, which, by the way, they're already marked down 200% in their spring sale. They'll take off another $150 when you buy 2. And trust me when I tell you, if you and your girlfriend or you and your wife or you and your pal are going to e-bike together, you're going to want to buy 2. So again, this is a great opportunity for you and your buddy to go, hey, I want one, you want one, let's go buy them together. We'll save even more money. But we're doing a demo day this Saturday, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's at 415 Laurel Street. More information as the week goes on, but mark your calendar now. It's a demo day with Ride One Up e-bikes.
I wonder would they be interested in a business idea of you give us your old e-bike and then we'll sell you one of our e-bikes at a discounted price. Similar to like a used car lot, like a trade-in. Like what's the trade-in value of this 2,000-pound e-bike that you have for our e-bike, which isn't that?
That doesn't sound like their business model.
That's a solid idea, though, Brown. I like where your head's at. You're always coming up with good ideas.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what time I can get there, and it's the busiest, so I can get on one and not come back.
I'm pretty sure.
Whoa, a great friend must have took it. It wasn't us, man. A great friend must have took it.
You mean like where Daniel's distracted, and then you just zoom off with your brand new limited?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or a different one. I don't need a limited. I mean, any one of their model. I rode like their cheapest model, and that's just I got up super fast on that one too. So, I'm not exclusive to the limited.
I knew a guy. I saw him a few weeks ago. I know a guy. He's a big guy. He's like 6'5", like 290. He's like a big giant dude, right? And I ran into him and I'm like, is that your e-bike? And he's like, yeah. And I don't remember what brand it is, but it's a really well-known brand and it's super expensive. And
Huffy.
I said, no, not Huffy, not Schwinn. Okay. I'm trying to beat you to the punch here.
Mongoose.
No, not a Mongoose. Okay. None of those. It's like a Pedigo or something like that, if that's even really the name of a fancy bike. Anyway, this guy is 6'5", 280. And I said to him, I go, that's a pretty nice bike.
No, I just lost 10
I
pounds.
said, I go, oh, 290. I go, hey, I go, how fast does that bike go? And he goes, oh man, I get this thing up to 22 miles an hour. I go, 22? 22, I'll go zooming right
I
by
bet
you.
you he's working
Oh
hard
yeah,
too.
because he's a big dude. I'm like, dude, I'll go zooming right by you on a Ride One Up e-bike. Dude, 28 miles an hour.
You might as well
I
be
got up to
walking.
30. I got up to 30 in jeans on the Cruiser.
Yeah.
Like going through literally from their shop to the Prado and back in jeans, 30 miles per hour, no problem.
I think I'm going to get down there on Saturday because the demo day starts at 10. I'm going to try and be there at 10. Actually, I'm going to try to wake Rachel up early and go, hey, let's go down to Balboa Park. Let's go for a walk around the park. We'll do 5-6 miles around the park, and then we'll get on an e-bike.
She
So
gonna
I
go
might
for that?
ride my actual bike there and then feel the difference.
Mm-hmm.
Which I already know the difference because I ride my bike through Balboa Park all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the hills just to get there are stupid.
Yeah.
So I already know the difference, but maybe I should just ride my bike over there.
All right. Bring your old bike that you have to actually pedal and then get on an e-bike
Yeah.
that you have the pedal
I
assist.
have to exercise and then cruise.
Well, that's the thing about the Ride One Up e-bikes. You can use them for exercise if you want. You can use them for just cruising. You can use them for transportation. They're just a ton of fun. So anyway, we'll see you guys on Saturday at our demo day with Ride One Up. All right, let me jump into a few things here as we broadcast from the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on a Tuesday afternoon. So the Padres are in Cleveland to take on the Guardians. And the storyline going in today, although, the weather report was not necessarily looking very good, especially earlier in the day. We're looking at like 90% chance of rain at game time.
Thunderstorms.
Yeah, thunderstorms. So who knows if this game is actually going to happen, especially when we're on the air right now.
East Coast baseball in April and May is rough,
Yeah.
man.
Some dice roll.
Rough.
Yep.
Yeah.
A dice roll.
Mm-hmm.
Roll the dice.
No, a dice roll.
I know what
Yeah.
he said.
And you just roll them. Right. Let them go.
Yeah.
Mike Clevinger, the expected starter today for the Padres, his first start in 587 days.
Welcome back.
Just saying that out loud sounds
It
crazy.
does, doesn't it? Like 587 days rather, 587 days. So how many days are in a year?
365.
How much?
365.
365?
What'd you say, Browner?
365.
Oh, all right. I thought you said
You
375.
said 365. Yeah.
Oh. 365 days in a year times 2 is like 700 some odd days, right?
Mhm.
So it's been almost 2 years. Where were you 587 days ago? I'm like, I don't know.
I was watching Mike Clevinger get pulled from the playoff game.
Yeah. That's 2020, right? It's got to be
2020.
September or October. I guess October.
I'll tell you the exact date.
Yeah.
I'll just go to his game log in
Yeah.
a second.
But it's October of 2020, I'm guessing. October of 2020. Think about what has happened on planet Earth since October of 2020. That's how long it's been since Mike Clevinger has started a Major League Baseball game.
We beat COVID.
Mhm.
Then it came back.
Private citizens have gone to space.
Mm-hmm.
There's a war going on
we
right
s-
now.
We switched presidentes.
See?
And
We went on radio and television.
Mhm.
and Roe v. Wade got abolished.
Which, by the way, my
Not-
daughter, who's
not yet.
18 years old, is like, "What's going on in America? A bunch of rich white old men telling women what they can do to their bodies." And I'm like, "Why does it got to be like rich old white guys?" She's like, "Because that's who it is, Dad." I'm like, "Okay,
To get back on track.
yeah," but I just got to say
Mike-
though, that you
right.
talk about unacceptable. I mean, listen, a woman has her own body; she got the right to make her own decisions, and to have the government interfere. After all these years, they're going to overturn. I mean, this has been a lifelong argument. I've been hearing this argument about reversing Roe v. Wade my entire life.
50
Are we
years.
serious? Are we for real here? Right? Like, I got 3 daughters. Hypothetically, my 18-year-old daughter goes out and gets, whatever, and gets impregnated. I don't want my 18-year-old daughter having a baby right now. And if she don't want to have it, and I don't want her to have it, she shouldn't have the right to be able to do what she wants to with her own body. I mean, it just really like some of the things that happen.
Only when it comes to vaccines do they want
That's
that.
it. That's it.
And
That's it.
masks. And
They only
masks.
want freedom and things that they think freedom is better for them for.
I mean,
So,
listen, if you told me this was just in Texas or this was just in Florida or Georgia or Alabama, the Bible Belt, Louisiana, I'd be like, yeah, I get it. They're kind of wacky down there and I don't live down there, so I don't really care. But the fact that we're talking about this nationwide is just stupid. Anyway, all right.
I agree.
I'm very
Mike
pro-choice,
Clevenger
obviously.
Mike Clevinger last pitched October 6th, 2020 against the Los Angeles Dodgers. He went 1 inning and was pulled.
Mhm.
Before that, his game, he was already kind of getting hurt because he got pulled from an Angels game. But before that, I think we were all getting excited because I do remember this. September 13th, part of a doubleheader, he pitched against the Giants, pitched all 7 innings, only got 2 hits, no earned runs, struck out 7. And we were like, yo, Mike Clevinger, here we go.
Mhm.
Short season. We're on the playoffs. And then, yeah, kind of went all downhill after that.
Right. And then
I don't even remember who started those playoff games. I think it was like Stammen.
I
Just
don't know.
random people
bullpen.
they were finding in the
Yeah.
back. Hey, you,
And that
come
sweet-
on.
587 days since Clevenger's pitched in a Major League Baseball game. 587 days. A Tommy John surgery later, his second of his career, by the way. And while he is a celebrated character by Padre fans who, like you said, Alex, were kind of thinking back in September of 2020, like he's going to be a go-to guy. We don't know. We really don't know yet. And we are not going to know, by the way. Assuming Clevenger pitches and he's healthy and he gets out of it okay, we're looking at 2 months before we know if Mike Clevenger is Mike Clevenger pre-second Tommy John.
I think the idea that he won't be good because it's the second Tommy John when the normal behavior of post Tommy John is you throw harder, you gain a couple miles on your fastball. I'm expecting him to come and be the Mike Clevenger before he got hurt, because if one's good, two's got to be great.
I don't know, man. I think the way I look at it is it's not necessarily 1 or 2 months. It's what does he look like in October and November for me? It's did it hold up the whole season?
See, but
I think that's the biggest question. Will it hold up? I don't think it's a velocity thing. I don't think it's a movement thing. I don't think it's obviously control comes with the more you pitch. But for me, it's longevity and duration of the arm.
See, but I think
Will
they're
it
going to put
hold
him on a
up?
pitch count, and they're going to say, this is how many pitches you're going to do this year, and I think he's going to exceed that number before the playoffs come. And I don't think Clevenger will be available for the playoffs.
Oh,
I
really?
think
So
Mike
you're already
Clevenger-
calling for him to not make it?
No. Not for the Padres to not make it. I'm saying physically he will reach his number of pitches or his number of innings, depending on how they want to do it, before you get to the playoffs, unless they give him a huge chunk off, which then doesn't make any sense if he's built up a rhythm.
No,
So
dude, you need him for the latter part of the season. I mean, if the Padres believe that they're a real competitor against the Giants and the Dodgers, who start a series today in LA, if they really think that they are going to compete, then ultimately Mike Clevenger's got to be part of that plan. Or at least put it this way, that is part of their plan. Their plan is, okay, great. Clevenger will get healthy and he'll get better as the year goes on. He'll get stronger as the year goes on. And then ultimately we'll have the real Mike Clevenger back come October. Now,
if he's the only one,
I don't know if you're Brown or if you're
he's
right
the
or wrong.
only one that's hurt, or he's the only one that can't participate in the postseason, we'll be all right.
Well, Browner, I don't know if you're right or wrong about that pitch count and whether or not he will exceed it before the playoffs. But I'll tell you this: you don't give a guy a 2-year contract knowing he's not going to play for one of them, with the expectation of him not being available for the playoffs.
by the way, what's his dollar figure? Because yesterday we had a really long and big discussion. I would call it an argument, really, about the value of Joe Musgrove. And I just want to kind of give some final thoughts on that, because I did see a lot of what Alex posted on social media, and I know we were talking about it yesterday, and everybody was involved in the YouTube chat. So shout out to all the YouTubers out there that get involved in the conversation while we're on the air. We appreciate you guys in a big way. What do you think Clevenger makes a year? Take a guess, Browner.
Probably 12, maybe.
Okay. And by the way, if that's the case, you paid him 24 for 1 year. Because remember, everybody knew that he wasn't going to be here last year.
And a 2-year, $11.5 million.
2 years, 11.5.
That's what it says on
Okay.
Spot Track.
So
That doesn't sound
But
right,
it's,
though.
but it's
maybe.
really a 1-year deal at 11.5. I mean, when he had this surgery and they put this contract in front of him, he's like, I don't know if I'm ever going to pitch again. I'll sign it.
Yeah.
And so it's really a 1-year, $11 million deal, which brings us
Exactly.
back to Musgrove. So I know that yesterday we were having this conversation about should Joe Musgrove sign a contract with the Padres, 8 years, $88 million. You realize that if Musgrove signs that contract, he's actually making less than a guy like Clevinger. For as healthy and as dependable as Musgrove is, he'd actually be making less than Clevinger. Why are you shaking your head no? Is that not a mathematical fact?
Because we're about to do this again. Clevenger's worth more than Musgrove.
Come on. Clevenger's worth more than Musgrove when he's had 2 Tommy John surgeries and you sign him on a 2-year deal and you're only going to get him for 1 year. How is he worth more than Musgrove?
Stuff. He's got stuff, man. He's got better stuff. Again, Joe Musgrove, because I think people are going to take this the wrong way about what I think of Joe Musgrove. I think Joe Musgrove is a good pitcher. I'm not saying he is subpar. What I'm saying is when you're talking about guys on the mound who you know strike fear in the opponent, Joe Musgrove is not that guy. Like you can out battle Joe Musgrove at the plate. There's guys like Mike Clevinger who you go, listen, he has pitches I can't hit.
Come on, really?
Okay.
Wait, so let me ask you a question. Does Mackenzie Gore have pitches you can't hit?
Yes.
Okay. Does Joe Musgrove have pitches you can't hit?
In my opinion, no. I
So
think he's
every
a good
pitch
pitcher.
that he pitches you can hit.
Pretty much, yeah. I
Oh,
don't see him as a dominant pitcher, no.
He's got a no-hitter to his credit. How many guys in Major League Baseball currently pitching have no-hitters to their credit?
Lots.
How many, you think? Take a guess. I don't know the answer.
I'm going to look it up.
How many you think? How many pitchers currently, active pitchers, have no-hitters on their resumes? Just take a guess. 2, 5, 20, 50? I bet you it's a pretty small number.
Only 4 more pitchers in baseball have more strikeouts than Joe Musgrove right now.
Can you, Alex, show us a comp? Because we obviously all disagree on this, and it's fine. It's an interesting conversation. Browner's point is that Musgrove doesn't have special stuff. I don't really know which of the three of us is a pitching analyst, but I just disagree with that, and I'm not a pitching analyst. But you've come up with some comps as to numbers and strikeouts and ERAs and win percentage. Who's a good comp for Joe Musgrove?
This is the guy that keeps getting brought up because he has similar numbers and he just got paid this offseason and they're in similar ages. Jose Barrios, who in their career, an ERA of 3.93 for Joe Musgrove, an ERA of 4.04.
Okay.
Win percentage, Barrios is better. The last 3 years, the K's or strikeouts to walks, 4 strikeouts to 1 walk for Musgrove, 3.65 strikeouts for Barrios, and WAR. This is very numbery for you guys probably. What I'm saying is they're very comparable pitchers. And Barrios signed a 7-year, $131 million contract.
Okay, 7-year, $131 million. That's like what, $19 million a year? I'm just doing the math quickly here. Maybe not.
18.7.
Okay, so think about that, Browner. Take a look on your screen, Browner, and look at this comp here. The guy Barrios has a 7-year, $131 million deal. He's making $19 million a year. Why would Joe Musgrove, with comparable numbers, rather than take $19 million, why would he take $11 million rather than $17 million? Why is Musgrove worth so much less than Barrios? Put the numbers up, Alex, so we can all take a look at them if you don't mind. Go ahead.
I got up to 29 active players that have thrown no hitters.
29.
So why would why would Joe Musgrove take less than this guy?
Right. So Barrios has not significantly, just slightly better numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And the contract that he has is a 7-year, $131 million. It's 7 years at $19 million a year.
Well, Joe has better numbers except win percentage, but
right.
doesn't control.
So these numbers they're pretty comparable. Okay. So why would Joe Musgrove take less than Jose Barrios? Especially, by the way, not Barrios is making 19. Why would Musgrove take 11? Why would he say, wait, I'm only 60%? Look at my numbers compared to his numbers. And when you say he doesn't have special stuff, here's Barrios and here's Musgrove in a complete side-by-side analysis. Musgrove has the better numbers, and the other guy, Barrios, is going to make $8 million more a year. Why? Why would he accept that, Joe Musgrove?
Well, is Barrios playing in his hometown? Has Barrios been a high-level prospect his entire career? Has Berrios been some superstar person that commands that amount of money out of the gate? I don't know his pitching criteria to answer that question. But if Joe Musgrove wants Berrios money, then he's probably going to have to get that from another team.
Well, let's simplify it. Let's simplify this conversation. We never got to it yesterday. What is Musgrove's number for you per year?
For me, I would without a doubt I give him $14 million a year. Without a doubt. 13 to 15 million a year. Easy. I could do that. It's not a big deal to me. I wouldn't give him an 8-year contract. I just don't believe in giving guys 8-year deals. So I'd give him 6 years, 15 million.
6 years, 15 million a year.
So I don't think that's an insult. I think that gives him an opportunity to present himself as the number one guy to close his career out in his hometown. I'd front load the deal that most of the money's on the front end, signing bonus, things of that nature, and just kind of reward him for what he's going to be doing for me while I know he's going to be at his best. And on the back end, when it doesn't hurt me, I can go out and use that money to get other pitchers. Because I think he's a bridge pitcher between the guys you have now and the guys that you believe are coming up.
All right, we got a lot more to get to on this subject. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Stick around, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
I say we get rid of it.
Me? I was the one who went and got it.
What if he finds out we opened it?
If your crazy neighbor cared, he wouldn't have thrown it away, right?
This is bad. This is bad. This is bad, what we're doing.
I wonder if this was Grandma's. Today was my first day at Lockwood Hat.
Nobody wants you here.
This white boy kept staring at me.
I'm James.
Why are you talking to me?
This is not like any other relationship. One slip and we're done for.
What I care about is this family's reputation.
Rugby. It's America's fastest growing sport and the predecessor of American football, combining football's physicality, the free-flowing grace of soccer, the ball-handling skills of basketball, and the intensity of ice hockey. No pads, no helmets, all action. Rugby Wrap-Up and Major League Rugby every Thursday night at 9 p.m. on Your View.
Hanging out at the beach? What a lifestyle. And you could be here every day if you entered the San Diego Giving Back Raffle, a benefit for Ronald McDonald House Charities of San Diego.
Grand prize is this multi-million-dollar home 1 block from the ocean. Or you can win a sports car, a dream vacation, or cash. Everyone is guaranteed to win a fabulous prize. The Giving Back Raffle helps families in need like the Uggan family.
Visit sdraffle.com to learn more.
Main streets are the heart of our communities, where we connect with our neighbors, support local businesses, and share new adventures. Main Street Living celebrates all of this, bringing you uplifting stories with guests from across the country and your community. Main Street Living covers what's important to you today, from our street to your street. Join Cheryl, Danielle, and Quincy for Main Street Living, Mondays at 9 on Your View.
Watch the Austin Gilronis take on your San Diego Legion Thursday, May 28th at 5 p.m. on YourView.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends. What's happening? It's Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com, along with Grande and the Brown Man. You know, we've been arguing for 2 days now about this whole Joe Musgrove situation. And I'll just say this. This is my final thought on it. If Joe Musgrove can't get himself a comparable deal from his hometown team, where he's pitched the only no-hitter in franchise history, where he had the first mural on his high school and one that, you know, it's turned into a whole big thing now with Padre murals all over town. If I'm Joe Musgrove and I can't get myself a comparable deal that's, I'll just call it again, 7 years, $130 million. If I can't get myself an $18, $19 million a deal, $1 million a year deal, if I can't get that from the Padres, guess what? As a Joe Musgrove supporter and fan, I got no issue at all if he takes off to the Dodgers, the Giants, the Yankees, the Cubs, the Red Sox, or anybody else who's willing to pay that guy that kind of money. I got no issue with it at all. In fact,
at $18 million, he will be wearing another uniform because he is entirely replaceable.
Well,
I was told that's where I was about to. I'm so glad you said he's entirely replaceable because, in my opinion, I think the thing that we have not discussed and where he gets a lot of his value is that he has taken control of that pitcher's room. He is the leader of that rotation. He may not be the best, in quotes, as far as talent goes, but I think that his leadership in that clubhouse is top notch. It's up there with the leaders of the whole team, if not the leader of the team.
I mean, I just don't see why you're so like why you're and I'm not saying you're downing on the guy.
Right.
It's just that Darvish has an injury history.
Mm-hmm.
Blake Snell hasn't even pitched so far this year. We have no idea what Mike Clevinger is going to be after nearly 600 days of not pitching. Mackenzie Gore is still a young kid who we're all excited about, but we don't know for sure.
3 starts.
Okay. And I just don't understand. Like, to me, the most constant, consistent, guaranteed guy who's going to show up, be healthy, and give you everything he's got is Joe Musgrove. And when you're, again, we've shown you the comps here to a guy like Jose Berrios, who he has better numbers, does Musgrove, than Berrios. And Berrios got a much more lucrative contract that he's already signed versus the one that the Padres have offered. The Padres are hoping exactly what you've said, Browner. He's a hometown kid. He wants to finish his career here. $88 million is a lot of money, but I got news for you. Hey, Joe, you sign an $88 million deal for 8 years. You just left on the table legitimately $50 million. Why would he do that?
And I'm not saying he should. I'm saying if that money is somewhere else, go get it. Go get it.
Guess what? That money's here. That money's in San Diego.
Not if I'm in the Padres front office, because that what he does can be duplicated. There are guys around the league who can do what he does.
They got anybody on the Padres right now that can do what he does?
Him.
Okay.
He's the guy on this roster right now that can do what he does.
Okay.
Every roster has a consistent innings eater guy who can go out and show up every 5th day and take the ball. Now, you would like for that to be your number one guy, but in this particular situation, it's not due to injury. And so since he is the guy who can be that person, like, that has value, that has worth, because to get to the playoffs, you need a guy like that. You need 2 or 3 guys like that, to be perfectly honest. But when you get to the playoffs, the innings eater isn't the guy who's going to win you the series. You need the Darvishes. You need the Snells. You need the healthy Clevingers to get to win the series.
And yet all 3 of those guys you can't count on.
I'm telling you, when we get to the playoffs, win, not if, win, and Joe Musgrove is the game 1 starter, that ain't scaring nobody.
Let me ask you something. Is Darvish scaring anybody?
Yeah, if a healthy Darvish takes the mound game 1, guys know that he could be lights out.
Mm-hmm. They don't know that. They don't know that about Musgrove?
No.
Because they can hit everything he pitches.
All his pitches are hittable. All of them. He ain't got no
Dude,
he ain't got no specialty
He's got the
pitches.
5th most strikeouts in baseball right
Yeah,
now.
I know you're making these statements like
Like, they're just wrong.
They're just out there statement. They're not like based in fact. They're not. They're just
He's got the
statements.
5th most strikeouts in baseball, dude.
Okay,
What do
let
you
me
mean he
ask y'all
doesn't
a
have?
question. Okay. Let me ask y'all a question.
Mm.
So if it's based on what y'all saying, if I'm making this stuff up, okay. Where was when the Padres got him? Why weren't the Dodgers after him then? Why weren't the Yankees after him? Why weren't the Giants after him with big money contracts or big trades? Why weren't this clamoring for Joe Musgrove? How did we get him when we lose out to everybody else for big trades? When we get
How'd
the
they get
rug pulled,
Clevinger? How'd they get Darvish? How'd they get Snell? They traded for him.
when we get the rug pulled out of us,
All these 3 guys, these elite guys that you're talking about, how come they're on the Padres?
well, you traded for Yu Darvish.
You traded for
traded
Clevinger,
for
you traded for Blake Snell, and you traded for Joe Musgrove.
So, but that's what I'm saying. When we traded for Joe Musgrove, was there fanfare where people like, oh, we got Joe Musgrove? Yes. There was no table slapping when we got Joe Musgrove. When we got Blake Snell, people were like, yeah, we got Blake Snell. When we got Mike Clevinger, people were like, yeah, we got Sunshine. When we got Yu Darvish, folks was like, yeah, we got Yu Darvish. When we got Joe Musgrove, like, oh, that's cool. Oh, he's from San Diego?
Let me ask you a question too. When they traded for Tatis, was there a giant clamoring and slamming? Was there a parade being thrown downtown? No, they're like, oh, they got a prospect. Cool. They got rid of James. No, actually, what was said was, thank God we got rid of James Shields' contract. That's what they said.
He was a
people turn into things.
Joe Musgrove was already playing. What are you talking
Joe
about? Those are
Musgrove in the
different
last
things.
Joe Musgrove the last 3 seasons has been one of the best pitchers, one of the most solid pitchers in baseball. He's turning into things.
You're comparing.
You're living off reputation, and I'm living in the present.
How do you get a reputation?
Mike Clevenger's off reputation. There's no performance. He hasn't pitched in 587 days.
So how come you Doris make this money? How come Mike Clevenger got this aura around him? Because he's done things that Joe Musgrove hasn't done.
What aura does he have around him?
The aura.
Bro, I can't wait till these dudes actually get out on the mound throwing 97, 95 miles an hour, striking dudes out. And
No
Joe
one
Musgrove
wants
got ground ball out.
See, here's what you do, and you do it with every conversation. It's so freaking annoying. You do it to every conversation. You like make these comparisons that you start comparing like with your own guys. Now you're doing it. Normally you do it against other guys. Now you're doing it against your own guys. Musgrove ain't anything compared to Mike Clevenger. Musgrove
I didn't say that.
Yes, that's all you've said. It's not even close. His stuff is hittable. He's not special, and he can be replaced by anybody. He's an innings eater. That's literally what you said.
You're doing exactly what I did not say because you're trying to pivot the conversation because all you have is that what he has after 5 starts, 4 starts, whatever he has. What I'm saying is,
31 starts last year.
I've never said Joe Musgrove's not good. That's not. I never said that.
No,
I
you said
specifically made
he
it very
could easily
clear.
be replaced. That's what you said. Quote.
This is what I said. I specifically said he is replaceable.
Right. Easily.
I said there's nothing special. I said his talent is his consistency.
You said every one of his pitches is hittable.
Because they are.
You said he can be replaced by anybody. He's just an innings eater. He's got nothing special about him. Those are things that you've said.
His pitching.
Listen, just listen to me for 1 second, okay? All I'm saying to you is this, that Joe Musgrove is the Padres' best pitcher. That's all. He's their best pitcher. You say
And I
every
disagree
pitcher.
with that.
Okay. It's fine.
By the way, I don't think Joe Musgrove is worth $20 million either. I haven't had the chance to say that because you just start attacking this dude. And as far as like but what's in front of you, I don't understand. That's what makes me so.
How am I attacking him? How am I attacking him? I said he's a good pitcher. Where is the attack?
Actually, you
kind of said everything about him.
Right.
You've diminished every part of his game. What are you talking about?
That's not an attack. That's my evaluation on his skill set. That's not an attack.
Okay. So you've criticized and diminished everything he is as a pitcher when he's clearly their best pitcher.
Again.
It makes no sense. I don't understand like how the reasoning even makes sense in your brain. Like I don't get it. You're talking about a guy who hasn't pitched in 587 days. You're talking about a guy in Yu Darvish who had above a 4 ERA in the last 8 months of the year. You're talking about Blake Snell who can't pitch longer than 5 innings, and if he does, he gets hurt after 3 starts.
And
so I don't.
Now you're diminishing. So now you're diminishing the Padres pitching
No,
staff.
yeah, I am from the platform you're putting them on. Yes, I'm bringing them down to reality.
I'm not doing that to Joe Musgrove. I'm giving you an evaluation on what I think of his skill set. That's what I think.
And
if
I'm
you
just,
think Joe
I am
Musgrove
just,
is their best pitcher, then he's going to have time to prove it.
I
don't
agree.
think that's the case.
But you're also going back into the archives and you're saying things like, well, why was there not this clamoring for Joe Musgrove? Well, let's just slow down for a second here. In terms of clamoring for him, he was coming from Pittsburgh, where they're a terrible team and a terrible organization. So who was he back then when he was pitching for the Pirates versus who has he developed into now that he's pitching for the Padres? They're different players.
Mr. Records over here told us he won the World Series yesterday.
Said he was on a World Series team.
team.
And by the way, neither you nor I knew that.
Right. That's my whole point. That's my whole point. You know who Justin Verlander is, don't you?
Yeah, but
all I'm saying is, and
Justin
you
Verlander
keep
have to
proving
do
my
with this?
point. You're living off reputation. I'm just telling you what it is right now. That's all I'm trying to tell you, Browner. You can have your opinion on Musgrove, and that's great. But what I'm disagreeing with you is that you're living off reputation. I'm telling you what is the facts today, as we sit here today.
And by the way, you asked the
continue
question.
to bring up reputation, when in reality, reputation is not reality right now.
Yeah, you keep asking the question like, well, why was Yu Darvish paid the way he was paid? Because that's what the Cubs paid him.
Yeah,
And
the Padres didn't pay him that.
And then the Padres said, you know what? We'll trade for him because we need a veteran, experienced pitcher who's been in some high leverage situations. And this is what he gets paid.
And by the way, you
veteran,
actually
experienced
hated the Yu Darvish
number
trade.
one.
You hated
Let
the
me
Yu Darvish
repeat
trade.
that. Let me repeat that. They needed a veteran, experienced number one. When they traded for Joe Musgrove, what were they trading for?
They were trading for an experienced middle of the rotation kind of guy. But what's happened is he's elevated his game. And more than anything, he's stayed the healthiest. And so that's made him the most consistent. And so for that, and by the way, here's just one last thought on this whole money issue. It's not my money. I don't care. I mean, when the Padres didn't have money to spend and they had to just kind of piece together a team, that was a different world. But when Manny Machado's making $30 million and Fernando Tatis is making over $30 million and Hosmer, let me ask you a question. Who's more valuable to this team? Hosmer or a guy like Musgrove?
You asking me?
Yeah.
This year?
Just generally speaking, who would you, if you had to get rid of one or the other, who would you get rid of?
This year.
Right now.
Oh, I get rid of Joe Musgrove. Eric Hosmer plays every day. He's leading baseball in batting average.
And that's going to remain all year long?
There's no guarantee Joe Musgrove will remain all year long either.
Nor is there a guarantee that Eric Hosmer is going to remain where he's at all year long. You've seen what Eric Hosmer is. I would say this. Joe Musgrove is trending upward, and Eric Hosmer has been, prior to the start of this season, been trending downward.
But if we're going to go back and forth about Joe Musgrove's statistics this year, you have to do the same thing for Eric Hosmer.
But we're not. That's not what we're doing. We're not talking about Joe Musgrove's stats this year. We're talking about Joe Musgrove, the Padre, over the last 2 years.
We
or
were just
3 years.
comparing him to Berrios.
Actually, if you go back and you look at those Berrios numbers, is that just this year, Alex?
No, it's last 3.
Yeah. So.
Okay. Well, I would rather have Eric Hosmer as opposed to Joe Musgrove because Eric Hosmer plays every day.
Bottom line is this. Your analysis that he does nothing special. He doesn't scare anybody. Every one of his pitches are hittable. I mean, that to me is just strong opinion. I don't necessarily think, geez, Browner is just such a smart baseball guy and studies this stuff so intently. Man, that's right on. It's just talking is what that is.
If you would go around Major League Baseball,
have you done this?
Padres
Just so I know.
rotation,
Have you done this?
If you ask them on that rotation, who do you fear the most batting against? Joe Musgrove's not going to be on that list, bro. Stop it.
No, Clevinger is.
Stop it.
Clevinger is that the guy?
Clevinger would be on there before Musgrove would.
Come on, guy hasn't pitched in almost 600 days. Really?
Now wait till he pitch today. That's what you need to do. Wait till he pitch today. We'll see. One thing,
Alex. One thing you say about Browner's argumentation skills is you hate certain parts of it. See, I actually love it because this dude will fight till the death.
Right, and I will too. I just don't
opinions.
like that I have to always take a side just to prove a point. And because it's like I don't think that Blake Snell's a terrible pitcher, but I now have to like act like I do because he acts like Joe Musgrove is one.
I didn't say, but again, I never said that.
No, you
That's
said
what you
right. You said everything without
what
saying
y'all
it.
hear.
Nothing special. So
Y'all
let me ask
do
you a
this to
question.
y'all self. I didn't do this.
But when you say he doesn't do anything special, how am I supposed to take that?
What's wrong with that?
Nothing.
What's wrong with that?
But nothing. There's nothing wrong with it. But
Okay,
when
let
you
me
say it,
ask you a question.
I hear it.
Go get paid elsewhere. All his stuff is hittable.
At 20 million? At 20 million? You just said you ain't giving him 20 million.
No, no number. I'm just talking about Joe Musgrove, the pitcher. I wasn't even allowed to bring up a number because you start yelling about everything. That's the thing. That's the way you argue is the way you do comedy. I'm gonna yell at you and I'm gonna command this argument.
I wasn't yelling to
command
start
this
this conversation.
I'm just telling you the way that you made this argument about Joe Musgrove. I'll keep it to this one. The way that you've made an argument to not pay Joe Musgrove $20 million, you have diminished all of his pitching abilities to like the lowest level. That's a fact of what you did. Did you say he's a terrible pitcher? No. Did you describe a terrible pitcher? Yes.
How am I supposed to receive
You
this?
describe Joe Musgrove as you would describe Chris Paddock.
When you say something, tell me what you mean.
Everything is hittable. He has
Yeah.
no special stuff.
Right,
He's
like-
just an innings eater. He can be replaced by anybody.
So how am I supposed to receive that? That he's really good?
Who? He average.
Joe Musgrove is average.
There you go. Leave it at that.
Okay, that's it right there.
So
Joe
pay
Musgrove
him
is
like
average.
an average pitcher. He'll go get paid elsewhere.
Yep.
We could have bottled it up in 2 minutes.
If you
Joe
want
Musgrove is average.
If you want to give Joe Musgrove $20 million, be my guest, brother.
Yeah, well,
whomever you are, whatever uniform, whatever organization you represent.
Well, what if the
Shouldn't be
Padres
this
decide to do it?
I think it would be a mistake.
Because he's average.
In terms of this rotation, yes.
I think he's proven to be. I think he is proving and continues to prove since he's been in San Diego that he's more than an average pitcher, and it's up to him to continue to do that this year. If he does it back-to-back years where he has a 3 ERA and he goes 32 starts, I think that is more than a above average pitcher who probably should make at least Barrios money and probably touching 19-20.
I just want to know one thing.
Continues to do it.
Is Blake Snell average?
No.
But he doesn't. He's hurt. He doesn't even play right now. And when he does play, he can't go past 5 innings. Is Clevinger average?
We'll see.
He hasn't played.
I don't
he hasn't
believe
played
to
in
be
600. He hasn't played in 600 days, and he's had 2 Tommy John
don't-
surgeries. And prior
I
to that,
don't
what did
believe he
Clevinger
is.
ever do? What did Clevinger do in his career that made you believe that he is just so much better than Joe Musgrove?
the makeup of what Mike Clevinger has, skill set, pitching, speed,
What is that?
arm strength. That's more impressive to me.
What is the top end for Clevinger versus what is the top end for Musgrove? Just so I know.
Before Clevinger got hurt, it was like 97.
Okay, and what is it for Musgrove?
I don't know.
What?
It ain't 97.
That-
You don't know either. See,
I don't. That's what I'm asking
also
you
the
because you're
funny part,
the
too.
expert.
You are
You're-
always trying to put me on the spot to try to defend this, defend that. You don't know either. So what are you talking about?
But I'm not the one making the statements, dude.
So you giving him $20 million?
I would say that Joe Musgrove is a more than $11 million a year pitcher.
I said the two.
And probably a little less than a $20 million a year pitcher.
I said 13 to 15. So that's a crime.
It's not a crime. It's just that, listen, when I ask you questions, it's because you make statements that I assume you must have information. I don't have that information because I don't do that research.
Then you better stop making statements, sir.
But I don't make statements.
That's a lie.
What are you talking about?
Come on.
The data has been presented. I'm looking at the numbers.
So you giving him $20 million.
Listen, hold on. Let me
How
ask
much
you a
you
question.
giving him? Okay, how much you giving him? Let's talk to you. How much you giving him?
Well, I mean, gosh, based on the scouting report that he's average and his every pitch is hittable and he doesn't
That's
do
my
anything
scouting
special.
report. What's your scouting report?
But that's your scouting report. So based on that alone,
yours.
I'm
Off of
getting rid of him.
yours.
Oh no, I'm getting rid of him. Oh, I don't want Joe Musgrove around. I go with you. You're the scout.
Okay,
I go with
well
you.
then guess what? We're gonna be in better shape because we're gonna have money to spend.
I would give Joe Musgrove. I would take money from Yu Darvish and give it to Joe Musgrove. Just Yu Darvish has been a disappointment since he's been here.
So
I
how
mean, he
much
has
you
a
giving
losing record of 4 or 5 ERA. It's not the number one guy that you were signing up for.
How much you giving him?
I said already, I would give him Barrios money. I would give him any from 18, 19 million a year.
Okay, that's too much for me. That's out of my range.
Right, I know you said 14 million. I get it.
13 to 15.
Yeah.
Guy's
yeah.
average. Guy's average at best anyway.
Maybe.
Seriously.
I mean, I did my work. Did you?
I know. No, I didn't. I didn't do any of the work.
You better use my recommendation so we can have money.
Because I'll tell you right now.
Tomorrow, everyone is healthy. Everyone is healthy, Browner. And you're playing against the Dodgers in the National League Championship in the NLCS.
Okay.
Give me. They really only do 3 starters in the playoffs.
Right.
Give me your 3 starters.
Everybody's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Darvish.
What?
Darvish. You asked me a question.
Oh, I want to make sure you go in order. I just want to make sure you're going in order. Opening game against the Dodgers, NLCS. Darvish.
Yes. You Darvish. Blake Snell. Mackenzie Gore.
Oh, good God.
You asked me.
Yeah. All right, listen. We're in the 7 Mile Casino studios.
Baby. You got
7milecasino.com. Oh,
There's so
Browner.
many stats about baseball too.
Browner
can come in here and he's got
spin rate.
Brown facts.
Musgrove's WRC plus is like -7, and his ERA plus is 1/10. Like if he really just starts saying letters and words, he could sound really smart.
I know.
I'm not going to correct him. There's so many stats.
All right, stick around. We got to. The Dodgers are starting a series with the Giants. The Angels are starting a series with the Red Sox, and we got a lot of other stuff we really want to get to. A lot of football stuff. Stick around. This is Kaplan and Crew.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
You're listening to the 50,000-watt powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
So I became a dentist because I just love science and I love art. I have a music background, so I wanted to do something that I can use the hand dexterity that I've developed, through my musical training. We've had a practice in San Diego for 25 years. It's called the Super Dentist. For over 2 decades, I've had parents ask me the same questions on a daily basis. And so I decided to put all of this information in one place. I wrote a book. Title of it is If Your Mouth Could Talk. Because if your mouth could talk, it would tell you about the condition of your entire life. Right now, the oral care marketplace is a mess. And so we decided to launch a new company called Supermouth, which is a subscription model of oral care. And so we want to be proactively educating parents, providing the tools and the oral care products to make sure they can raise healthier, happier, more successful kids. The education piece is a key piece in our company, because if you're educated as a parent, you're going to do the right things. People can find my book, If Your Mouth Could Talk, themouthbook.com, and purchase the book there, and also get some special gifts to go along with the book.
The 2022 San Diego Loyal season continues. Live on Your View and YourView.com. Watch the San Diego Loyal host the Colorado Springs Switchbacks Saturday, May 14th at 7 p.m. Come join us at Torero Stadium and support the San Diego Loyal as they continue their bid for the 2022 USL Championship. Tickets are available. San Diego Loyal versus the Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Saturday, May 14th on Your View. Join Jane Klaus on Creative Living as she shares fun and inspiring ideas for enriching your life.
I'm Jane Klaus, and on the next Creative Living, we're saving you money in your daily life. Easy steps to put cash back in your pocket. And we explore if buying an electric car is worth the cost.
Watch Creative Living, Sunday night at 8:30 on Your View and YourView.com. Creative Living. Imagine what you can do.
San Diego Legion Rugby is back, celebrating its 5th season of professional rugby in San Diego. Fun, excitement, entertainment. Just like all the sports you know, only better. San Diego Legion tickets are on sale now. Get yours today.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout with Haley Stasiak.
The San Diego Loyal got the win over the Tampa Bay Rowdies in dramatic fashion on Saturday. Evan Conway scored the winning goal for the Loyal in the 88th minute for his second goal of the season. The Loyal overcame a 2-1 second-half deficit to tally on 3 more points in the Western Conference and take down the defending Eastern Conference champions. Prior to this cross-country match, San Diego had played 4 league matches and 2 U.S. Open matches, then had a 2-week break to prepare. San Diego controlled possession for most of this one, but struggled to find the net until Jack Blake scored his first goal of the season in the 75th minute to tie it up, and Conway netted the winner. Next up, the Loyal will take on New Mexico United on Saturday. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Your View. You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific, every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
All right, guys, you're only going to see this on Your View. This isn't for radio on 1090. This isn't for YouTube. This isn't for any of the audio podcast platforms. This is just for you guys that are watching on Cox Your View. The head coach of the San Diego Loyal, Landon Donovan, is jumping into Kaplan and Crew. Coach, how we doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
It is really great to see you. How's things going?
We're about a quarter of the way through the year, so not quite on the crazy grind yet, but rounding into form. So it's a good time of year.
You know, I've only been to one game so far, but my son's coming home from college for the summer. My daughter's coming home from college for the summer. We're going to start coming to a bunch of games. The one game I was at, the first game of the season, man, jam-packed crowd and exciting. Oh, my God, what a finish at the end. So, I mean, at least the one game I've been to so far, loved it. It was awesome. How's things going with the home crowd in particular?
Yeah, well, you had the best seat in the house, Scott, right behind the goal where we scored.
Right.
It looked like you guys maybe had a few adult beverages that night. It was that was a good night, but we have a pretty special atmosphere at our games. We don't have the numbers that Padres do or the Chargers once had, but the atmosphere I think is pretty special and unique. I think you would say, having been to a lot of sporting events. So we're very lucky. We get that at Torero. The stadium is really suited to creating an amazing atmosphere, and I think you saw it that night.
Sure did. No doubt about it. How's it going for you? I mean, I always think about it from your perspective, like you didn't need to be coaching soccer. You were passionate about bringing professional soccer to San Diego, but you have little kids. You had a great career. You were enjoying retirement. How's it going for you?
Well, Scott, you know, once you have little kids, you got to find something to get out of the house. So it was mostly down to that. I love what I do every day. There are very few people, I think, in life, maybe you are one of the exceptions to, who get to do something they love. It doesn't mean it's not without challenges and difficulties at times, but I just love getting to come every day here and have a positive impact, hopefully, on a lot of young men's lives. So it's really enjoyable for me.
Hey, Landon, recently you guys got to go up and take on MLS's LA Galaxy. I know the result wasn't what you wanted, but the performance wasn't bad. I mean, it was only 1-0. You take that result and you tell your team, like, look, we can compete with one of the best teams in MLS, and you take that going forward?
Yeah, I think what people don't realize about our league is how good it is. And until you come to a game, you see it in person, or you come to training and watch it, or you watch a game like against the LA Galaxy, you don't realize how good the players are. The difference is the Galaxy, can spend millions and millions of dollars to get special players that we don't have. So soccer is unique in that there's 11 players on the field and scoring a goal is very difficult. In basketball, you have a guy like LeBron. That player can literally take over the game. But in soccer, you don't have that except for a certain few, Messi, Neymar, a few around the world. And so that's the ultimate equalizer. And our league is very good and very competitive in that way. And you saw actually a number of teams in our league actually beat MLS teams in that US Open Cup where we played the Galaxy. So you can tell the levels are much more similar than people realize.
Wow.
You guys are bringing such a different energy. Like you said, your fan base and how passionate you guys are about, the fans are about the sport and the game. How are you continuing to give back to those fans? I mean, obviously you guys are playing teams like the Galaxy. What other surprises or what are some of the things you guys are cooking up to kind of give the fans like a thank you?
Well, this sport is pretty unique, guys, in that historically, the way soccer started was literally communities just starting a soccer club. And so that makes it really unique. In our country, we're used to baseball, basketball, football, hockey, where an owner, a wealthy owner comes in and starts the team, and then it trickles down from there. But soccer is truly the fans' game. So the fans in the community are just as invested as an owner or a coach or a player. And so that's why when you go to Torero and you see that energy, that's the feeling you're getting. It's a little different than going to other sporting events. But for us, from the beginning, our chairman and owner, Andrew Vasiliadis, he grew up in Point Loma. His family has donated tens of millions of dollars to multiple causes throughout the community, to Rady Children's, to education, to multiple things. And Andrew's first ever meeting with us, he made it very clear that he wanted this to be more than just a soccer team. He wanted us to become an institution like the Padres have been, like the Chargers were at one point, like Rady Children's Hospital, etc. So we want to be a part of the community in a real way, and it's important for us to live that every day. So we do lots of things that try to benefit the community in a positive way. We had a Rady patient out here yesterday, ironically named Landon, told him it was a great name, who was out here enjoying practice, meeting our guys, and that's one small way. But we're fortunate to have a group of guys who like to do that and have really felt loved by this community, and it's reciprocal too.
Well, Landon, we're all going to be watching these games on Cox Yorview, and I know I will see you out there this summer. I'm looking forward to getting out to more of these games. Thank you very much for stopping by and for doing this Cox Yorview exclusive with us here on Kaplan and Crew. We'll see you out there, man.
My pleasure, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, Coach. Take care.
We are very proud to announce that the Mightier 1090 is SoCal's newest ESPN affiliate. Introducing the Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio. One of the largest radio stations in North America just got bigger and better. Joining forces with the worldwide leader of sports, ESPN. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio.
I'm tax attorney Adam Brewer. If you have a serious tax problem with the IRS or state of California, then you don't need a tax relief company, you need a tax attorney. Call or visit my website to schedule your free tax evaluation.
Hollander Dental is unique because we have been serving the Carlsbad community for over 25 years. We have a very spacious office with ample parking and state-of-the-art technology. The office has been newly renovated, so all the equipment and facility is brand new. Any patient visiting Hollander Dental can expect to be taken care of at every step of their visit.
With care and love and support. So when we're going through tough times, as dental work is and can be, they make it easy for us as patients.
Investing in your smile and your overall dental health in the long run will help you save money by preventing other medical conditions.
I would absolutely recommend Hollander Dental.
I do recommend Hollander Dental to anyone I know who needs something done.
If you love animals, Animal Zone is for you. From rescues to animal experts, Animal Zone is fun for the whole family. Watch Animal Zone right here on YourView, Saturdays at 8:30 a.m. And visit animalzone.org to learn more about the show.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 a.m. ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
But what I'm doing is legal. This is why